Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Nice to see ya. So I'm starting with a public service announcement. Not sure why I feel led to share this, but I don't fight these things, so I'll just say this. When I hear people say about an artist or a band and they say, oh, they're not doing much these days, I always want to say, why don't you look them up? Why don't you look them up? I compiled a little list here of people that are still doing a lot these days, or did a lot in their day, long after they were being played on the radio. Of course, you have the Rolling Stones and Kiss and The Who, who keep making records and stuff. Bob Dylan made new music recently. Ricky Lee Jones has kept. Remember Ricky Lee Jones? Oh, we haven't heard much from her. No, the radio abandoned her, and so did her fans. So, but there's still a Ricky Lee Jones. Bowie made records all along, long after the new ones were being played on the radio. And Prince. Oh my gosh, Prince made so many records that nobody's heard of. But there were quite a few. Blondie makes new music every couple years. Devo, Joan Jett. Let's see. X has a new album out. It's pretty good. And the Go-Go's are recording new music. Patti Smith has made new music long after her radio heyday. And my good friend Maria McKee has a new record out and has had several new records out long after Lone Justice. A lot of these artists that you haven't heard from lately just aren't getting promoted on the radio and People magazine like they ought to, but really they haven't left, you've left. The fans have left, they've abandoned them. So look them up on Wikipedia. The Pretenders, I'm so glad I remembered that. Pretenders have been putting out new music year after year, and the newest Pretenders record is fantastic. Plus, Chrissie Hynde wrote a great memoir. So did Debbie Harry, so did Viv from The Slits. There's a lot out there. Check out your favorite bands, check out your favorite artists. Don't write them off as not doing anything just because you're not hearing them compete with 19-year-old girls singing in their underwear. Oh yeah, and then there's me. People say to me all the time, do you still make music? I haven't heard anything about you in a long time. I'm like, wow, if you're my friend on Facebook, you must have unfollowed me because I promote myself like crazy. 28 records. Last one came out 2 years ago. It's done better than almost all my other records put together. Download my music on my website. I've made it free for you. No excuses not to hear the latest Paisley record. There was a man who knew too much. Boy Scout Queen with the Midas touch. He desired to be on his knees. his teeth are green. 25, look the other way. 25, figure he was gay. Go ahead and cheer him on. Couple of months, he'll be gone. Doesn't matter that he'll be crying. Doesn't matter that he'll be dying. And we stand around and watch. Just one man, not that great a loss. And we stand around and watch. Just one man, but not one of us. Can we stand around and watch? Speaking of standing around and watching, I know one day I'll be home, rejoicing in the presence of our Maker, basking in love in His eyes, celebrating Jesus Christ forever. But in this life we take our chances. Things don't always work out as planned. Broke dreams and failed romances. I pray that people understand. I need a place for my heart to call home, a roof over my head and love to spare. I need a place for my heart to call home. Will you take me there? I need a place for my heart to call home, a roof over my head and love to spare. I need a place for my heart to call home. Will you take me there? Will you take me there? I admit it's not all that easy, facing my lot day by day. Whispers, pointed fingers always bring me down to the best I can hold. God, please tell me this is only temporary. The nights are cold and I'm too often alone. Please send an angel to reassure me that somewhere in this world I have a home. I need a place for my heart to call home, a roof over my head, love to spare. I need a place for my heart to call home. Will you take me there? I need a place for my heart to call home, a roof over my head and love to spare. I need a place for my heart to call home. Will you take me there? Will you take me there? There's a reason life just stares down. People loving families and I just ain't around. Winter's coming and I'm not sure where I'll rest my head. Maybe by the time you hear this I'll be lost among the dead. No, I need a place for my heart to call home, a roof over my head and love to spare. I need a place for my heart to call home. Will you take me there? Jesus said if you do this unto the least of my brethren, you've done it unto me. Jesus said if you do this to the least of my brethren, you've done it unto me. Jesus said if you do this for the least will you take me home? Yeah, will you take me there? Will you take me home? Will you take me there? Will you take me home? Will you take me there? Will you take him there? Will you take him there to your home? Well, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah. Everyone applaud wherever you're at. I earned it. Oh my gosh. Hey everybody. Hey Greg, Jason, Angeli, Sarah, Chris, Ebony, and all the rest here on Paisley's side. Hey guys, please support my ministry. It's holidays. Don't be cheap. You can buy me a coffee. There's a link on this post. You can buy a shirt. Scroll down. You can give on Facebook Messenger. There's a fundraiser you can scroll down to. Go to my website. If everyone who said they love me did $5 a month, which you can sign up for in all those places, we wouldn't have this discussion every week. Maybe just once a month. I love you guys. Happy holidays. It all started. It's happening. Thursday's Thanksgiving. It's COVID season. But the Peanut shows are on PBS, so everything's going to be fine, right? Right. There's a mountain that was worth dying on. I'm curious, out of all the people that complained about the Peanut shows, who was really going to watch It's the Great Pumpkin? I mean, seriously, I know people are going to say, I watch it every year, I love it. But don't you already own it by now? Isn't it on YouTube or somewhere? But I'm glad we worked it out for you. Now you cannot watch it every year on PBS. Yay! Yay! Oh. When I was 19 and going to a church in California, I went to a big church and had a lot of celebrity congregants. And one of them was Pat Boone. And one Sunday night, they announced in the program that Pat Boone was going to be the speaker of the evening. And I thought, wow, Pat Boone's going to give this amazing testimony, or maybe a deliverance service, maybe an exorcism or something. Well, when we got there, the evening had changed from Pat Boone speaking to the Boone Family Photo Album. They did a slideshow of Pat Boone and his family, and he talked about, oh, look how cute, this one was at this age, and all this stuff, and it was almost as bad as Hamilton. The emails. Okay. So anyways, yeah, it was rough. It was a long night at church. And I fear what I'm about to do is going to be like that boring. But I'm gonna trust God that this has a point. So let me get my wallet out. I'm going to show you pictures of my kid. No. Whether we think about it or not, Thanksgiving is an opportunity every year to set aside a day to reflect on things you're thankful for. And I heard someone just say the other day, they're not worried about, what they do on the day because they're thankful every day. And I hope you are thankful every day. I really do. And I still think it's really good to have an isolated day, an isolated time, like right before dinner, to say things you're thankful for. I think that's really a good ritual for us, especially in these dark days. And when the pandemic started, I felt like God told me that the most important thing I could do to keep my sanity for what was about to happen, because he knew it was going to be a lot longer than we were hearing, was to keep a list of my daily blessings. Every day put something on my list that I'm grateful for and thankful for, something good that happens. Something good that happens. So I can see every day that every day something good happens. And I have not had a day since March where I didn't have to squeeze stuff on my list, because I only allow like one line of typing, because I like the way it looks all uniform and stuff. So I don't let it carry over. And I see that every day I really struggle with too many things to be grateful for. And I looked at my list, and I made a list to share with you about this. And I hope it's not boring. And, you know, it's hard to read the room if there's no room to read. So I'll just trust God here. But I didn't make a list of, 257 days or whatever it's been. I made a list of about 20 things, and I'll go really fast. But just so you get the idea that, like, one of the first things I did was I had a friend come over and donate food, and there was this really amazing, really fancy frozen mushroom pizza. You remember that? And it was like so good, and I was like, wow, the beginning of a pandemic, and we're afraid to go to the market, and I'm eating gourmet pizza, and that may seem small to you, but I don't think after 9 months of this, you're saying it's small for you to have something delicious delivered to your door. Another one was my granddaughter Peyton, who's 2, said, "I love you." I wrote that down. And another day, someone made a huge donation of frozen meat. And I don't eat meat. But I found a home for it for people that really, really, really were needing. I mean, I saw someone on Facebook say, I can't find meat in any of the stores. And I was able to contact them and say, you now have a freezer full of it. And also, another day, Sean and Ebony, 2 Kitchenites, encouraged me to allow them to do a listening party on the last day that I had people in my house, and that turned into me doing Facebook Live. And every Sunday I put Facebook Live on my list, because this is absolutely an amazing thing that's come out of the pandemic. And then when this hits 200 views, I do a little dance, and I say, I hit 200 views. I say, I hit 100 views, and then I say 200, and they're all on my list. I am so excited and grateful that something good is happening. And on another day, I read that my monthly tax payments were being deferred for a few months. And my gosh, student loans got deferred, and mortgage got deferred, and my bank credit cards got deferred. Everything got deferred, and that's all really good news, isn't it? And the unemployment that people got, I know you didn't all get it, and I guess I should have said this before, so I'll say it now. I know people are suffering. I am not making light. Please, if you know me for a second, you know that's not the case. But I'm going to say that if you're up and watching this, you're probably not on your belly in the hospital being intubated. Let's be fair. You're probably doing pretty good. You're probably doing pretty good, and you'd be doing a whole heck of a lot better if you made a list of things to be grateful for. Whatever you say. One of my favorite posts on my list was, it says underwear mask. When I saw a video on YouTube of how to make a mask out of my underwear. And I did it, and I went out with it, and I highly recommend it. It was the most comfortable mask I made, and it looked really good. I look good in my underwear even if it's on my head. What can I say? I finished cleaning out the biggest room in my house that was filled with junk and trash and stuff that needed to be boxed and gone through, and I finally finished a room. And then one day the gym and the library opened for me, my 2 favorite places to go. And what a great thing to help get through the pandemic. I have put on the list every week Taco Tuesdays. I didn't even have a thing before making Taco Tuesdays, but in the pandemic I decided I have to have a thing called Taco Tuesdays. I have to have something to celebrate every Tuesday, and talk about celebrating out of the blue. The New Times did a feature about me. What an exciting thing to have happen during a horrible time of life. Look at the things. And I have issues, and I have things I pray for every single day. I have things I'm really concerned about. And one day God gave me a word, and He said, I'm reading it because I want to say it right, you'll know exactly what to do and when to do it. Wow, you'll know exactly what to do and when to do it. I am holding on to that with dear life. It's on my list. You know what I'm thankful for also is this list. What a brilliant idea God had. Instead of letting me just spiral out of control and get darker and darker and sadder and more isolated and more scared and more paranoid, forced me every day to write something down that was good and positive and healthy. Seriously. See, we got through the list. Was that really boring? I hope not. That seemed a little indulgent. But there are so many things on the list, like cotton candy grapes ended up on my list. If you've had cotton candy grapes, you're laughing right now because you know exactly why they ended up on my list. Wow, we have been cheated all these years. Isn't that amazing? A new exciting fruit for us to enjoy. And but I don't know, I made my first quiche. That was really impressive. And made my first pot pie. I mean, I learned how to cook a little bit during this time. That all made my list. A lot made my list. A lot of private things made my list. Another one that made my list was, I call it Molly Day. That's my youngest daughter, and while she was still living here in Phoenix, we got together and made food here at the house and had a feast, and we watched one of the cooking competition shows, and it was Molly Day, and that was lovely. I mean, very high point in a low year, let's be fair. Just at some point, we are responsible for our own perspective. And, I read the Old Testament as well as the New Testament, but I'm currently reading the Old Testament and reading the Adventures of Moses. and I was thinking about how God appeared to Moses, and Moses must have thought, well, God appeared to me and told me to go to Pharaoh, and he told me to tell him to let my people go, and he probably thought it was going to be easy peasy because God told him to do something. And and every time he went to Pharaoh, Pharaoh got worse. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And Moses was like, what the hell are you doing, God? Why are you doing this? You're stop sending me. You're making things worse. You're making things worse. No, you're just going deeper and deeper into the trial and the affliction. But it's already bad. It's already been bad, and it's going to be bad until it's done. And the two things that really stuck out in my mind was that Moses was being obedient to God, yet things got worse, or seemingly got worse. But they did get worse. It wasn't just seemingly. It did get worse. It just looked like they weren't going to ever get better. That was the illusion of the time. But the other thing that struck me was the scripture that said that the more Pharaoh afflicted the Hebrews, the more they multiplied and grew. The more he tried to wear them out and kill them and kill their male babies, they just kept making more. They just kept making more. And I kept thinking about how that's pretty much what it's like serving God, is that you spend your whole life trying to make it right, figuring out how to hear God, trying to figure out what's the right thing to do in every situation, praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. And sometimes you just go, I think it's going to be easy because God told me to go into ministry, and it's not. And then you think, now that I'm in ministry, I've made it worse. No, it's already bad. You're just exposing it for how bad it is. And yet, the more afflicted you are, and the more people or the more the demons come after you, the more you multiply and grow. The more the more you become. The more you become. That's a perfect way of ending that sentence. Because that's it. We become more as we're afflicted. And we grow, and we are afflicted. We are afflicted all over the world right now. We've had a year of affliction. We've had a year of affliction. And it is really, really time for us to have a positive perspective somewhere. And I'm not talking about positive thinking. I'm talking about living your faith. You have a bumper sticker on your car. How about you actually live the life of the person that would put a bumper sticker about Jesus on their car, and use this time, this next few days, as a time of gratitude, as a time of thanksgiving, as a time of making lists of all the things good God is doing in your life. If I kept reading over and over again, I just can't live anymore in a world with Trump. And I was like, really? Then go off social media. Because Trump's not at your house. God, talk about taking up space in your brain, without paying rent. And it's like that about so many things. Everybody's like, oh, I can't handle this anymore. Oh, I can't handle this. Look, I got to tell you, I've had friends sick and die of COVID. I've had supporters sick from COVID. I've had supporters' families sick from COVID. I have family members, blood, sick with COVID. Now, I'm not making light of the world around us. I know that in this political environment, people's rights and freedoms are at least seemingly being threatened by Pharaoh. I understand that God needs to tell everyone to let his people go. But unfortunately, his people need to get their shit together and get on their knees and repent and start showing gratitude and start making lists of the good things God's doing. Instead of inventing things like, the war on Christmas. if they're playing Christmas music in the stores and they have decorations now, I can start talking about the war on Christmas. And there is no war on Christmas except in your head. Jesus is just fine. And he will be celebrating his birthday every year for all eternity. Okay? Okay? Period. Y'all can say happy whatever you want to me. I love all the holidays, even the ones I don't understand, and even the ones I don't celebrate. I love them all because there's food, candy, and presents. Okay? So I'm good. We need a little Christmas and we need a little Kwanzaa, so have at it. Do what you want. There's no war on Christmas and there's no war on Christianity. My gosh, if one more of you people post on Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg said that saying that Jesus Christ is the Son of God goes against Facebook policies. I'm just going to say it on Facebook in front of all your friends. You're a dum-dum. You're a dum-dum. You know what? Seriously, you're misrepresenting Christ by lying. By buying into a lie and sharing it, you become a liar. There is no threat on your religion. There's no threat on your faith. And there's no threat on your holidays. There's no threat on your Jesus. Jesus is a very secure person. And he's in a safe place. No one can hurt him. Okay? And no one can get to him in here. But whatever you're doing up here is, wow, wackadoodle, wackadoodle. Stop being crazy. Stop being crazy. Tell your doctor, get some meds, fix your meds. Stop posting on the internet. Stop. Whatever it is, nothing is trying to take away Jesus. Nothing. Except the enemy of your soul, and he's been doing it forever. But now he's getting you to help him. If he can get you to spend your days saying, my Jesus is threatened, instead of praising the Lord, he has won, because you defeat him when you show gratitude to Christ. when you pray, when you sing, when you read your word, when you dance to the Lord, you defeat the devil and all his minions. So the last thing he wants you to do is do that. Instead, he wants you to fret. And he wants you to gossip about how weak and infantile your God is. So what he gets you to do is post on Facebook how your religion is threatened. Your relationship with Christ is hopeless. You can't even celebrate Christmas in your own country because someone might not say the word Christmas when you walk into Walmart. You are being manipulated and used as a puppet against God in that scenario. So, let's make a list. Let's make a list of only good and positive and wonderful things that have happened to you today. How about we start with me? Put me on your list. I watched Paisley today. Damn, he's funny. Really cool Andy Warhol Frankenstein shirt. The guy is great. Oh, those songs. And I downloaded songs. You can write, I watched Paisley. I downloaded music. I made a big-ass donation. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to be happy about. That's only in the last 45 minutes. I bet you have a nice dog or a nice cat or a nice apple. Seriously. Someone brought me a big bottle of olive oil and a huge pumpkin pie from Costco yesterday. That ended up on my list. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. Think about it. What are you focusing on? And what is your religion? What is your religion right now? Is it positive and hopeful and thankful and lifting yourself and lifting those around you? Or are you just perpetuating really dangerous, psychotic, evil, demonic nonsense? Demonic nonsense. Seriously, you were either raising God or raising Lucifer. Those are your options. Which one are you doing? Tell the truth. Well, God wants me to stand up for my faith. Bullshit. Bullshit. He don't need you to stand up for your faith. You know why? He is the author and perfecter of your faith. He will fight the faith battle with others, not you. But I saw on Facebook that Jesus doesn't want me to deny him. Jesus doesn't want me to deny him in public. So because I saw this thing on Facebook that said, if you don't post this, you're denying him. No, you are not denying him in public if you don't post that stupid meme. You are recognizing that that meme has no Jesus in it, because Jesus is not going to play games like that. Jesus is not going to play games like that. You show Jesus in your life and in your word and in your deed by being amazing. By being amazing. By being an amazing light and strength and power for God. Not by doing something stupid on the internet. Come on, guys. You know better. You know better. It's just lazy. It's just lazy. Get off Facebook. After you download all my music and after you make a donation, then get off Facebook and make a list. Make a list. Make a list of the amazing things in your life. And if you don't think that apple is amazing, don't eat it. But if it is an amazing apple, think about where that apple originally came from. This is so funny. People criticize me about being too excited about little things my whole life. Boy, did it train me for the last 9 months. Boy, did it train me for the last 9 months. I do a little dance if you give me red vines. Well, sometimes that's the only good that's going to happen that day, isn't it? So, please, find your Jesus. Find the right Jesus. He's in your Bible. He tells you how to act, tells you how to live, tells you how to love. And please, have an amazing Thanksgiving. And please remember that every single person you come into contact with has a problem they're working out. Has someone in their life that is suffering. has someone in their life that's sick or dying, please think about how you treat every human being you come into contact with. And Hebrews 13:2 says, remember to entertain strangers. And other translations say, remember to be not forgetful of stranger, to enter, my first time preaching. Hebrews 13:2 says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers. Remember to entertain strangers. Remember to give your time to people you don't know. Everywhere you go. Because some have entertained angels unaware. Literally. That homeless person that looks disgusting, that just pissed himself, might be an angel from heaven. And I will tell you, I have met an angel that posed as a homeless person in this life. It's one hell of a story. When you have a story like that and you can share it with me, I'll share with you mine. Be nice to people. It's the holidays. Everyone is suffering. Be nice to people. Let people cut you off on the road. Let people in. Let people move to the side in the lane in the market. Give up some of your space for other people. Show some love and say something nice. And, you can say Merry Christmas, but you can also say Happy Holidays. That makes people feel good too, because there's a lot of holidays. It's not just Christmas, is it? Not just Christmas. What would Jesus do? He wouldn't promote his own birthday. Oh my gosh, he wouldn't promote his own birthday. He'd promote yours. So, happy birthday. Hi, Rob. Wow. Happy birthday. And I love you guys. And please have a safe Thanksgiving. Please don't do anything unnecessarily to put yourself at any kind of health risk. Please share this with others. Please come back next week and let me know how your list went. I really want there to be lists from this. I've given you a holiday assignment. And if you have kids, this is really good for them too. This is really good. It just opens a whole door of recognizing blessing in your life. I love you all very much. Happy Thanksgiving. Now, you're excused. Go home.